Welcome back.
Yeah.
Today is story time. I'm going to tell you a story about how things went at the hospital when Wesley was delivered.
Yeah, so today is the 1st of March, which is 12 days old.
Yeah, he was a little bit over a week old. He was born on the 17th of February, 9:45 a.m. to be exact.
So on the 16th, that's when we went back to the hospital and found out that it was really, really big. During the, it was 4.4
kilos.
That's 9 pounds.
Yeah, it's like 9.7 pounds.
The doctor was like, you will have to check in tonight so that the next week was a Friday, 16th of February. So that's by evening, by Saturday morning, we have the baby. So we came back home, we got our bags.
Oh yeah, we started packing everything.
Yeah.
Getting her bag ready, packing her clothes, the baby's clothes.
So we're supposed to check in by midnight.
And of course we didn't get there at midnight. We got there like at what? 1? So we checked in about 1 a.m.
We checked in and we got our room. So once we got our room at 2 a.m. Saturday morning. So we tried to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. My mind was all over the place. Brandon had tried to sleep, but the mattress was not fair on his body. The hospital thing. So from morning.
But the nurses started to come in around 6 a.m. To start prepping Hajara. We had come to the decision that the C-section was going to be the best thing for her and the baby. So they started to prep her for the C-section. I think they told her to take a bath, change into her gown, and she said the doctor would come by. But the doctor was supposed to come in with
7 a.m.
7 a.m. But I don't think we actually had the procedure until like, they didn't come and get her till like maybe 8, 9.
Yeah.
So they came and got her to bring her to the, they call it the theater, is where they perform the surgery. But back home in the United States, they call it the operation room. So we start to go to the theater. And
they don't allow you to walk to the theater. Like I had my energy to walk, and they're like, no, we don't allow people to walk when they're going to the theater, the operation room. So they had to wheel me to the theater, these 3 people.
And I was under the impression that I would be able to be in the theater with her during the procedure. But they wouldn't allow me to go in there with her.
And that's what we all thought. Like, I asked my doctor, like I did before, is my husband allowed to come to the theater when this operation is going on? She's like, no, it's okay. But then the morning of the operation, they're like, no, we don't allow other people.
And she was really nervous. She didn't want to go in there by herself.
Yeah.
So I was outside the theater, not very far, in like the waiting room area.
Right now, Hajara is in surgery for her C-section. I'm in the waiting room, waiting patiently. The procedure shouldn't take long. It's about maybe 30 minutes. So I'll be seeing my son very soon. And hopefully you guys will get to see him too. Pray for us.
And they went ahead and took her in, and then Hajara can take it from this point because I wasn't there after that. It was just her and the doctor, so she could tell you what happened then.
Inside, and they're like, we have to put a catheter now on so that we start the operation. And I'm like, please allow me to pee one more time. And they're like, no, that time is over, you have to come in. I'm like, so I sat there waiting. Someone was already in the bathroom. I sat there waiting for like 10 minutes, waiting for someone to get out. So then I pee, but they rolled me over into the operation thing. I was scared. I wanted really for you to be around. But even for them to allow you to be in the waiting area, that was special because they're like, they don't allow people at all.
Yeah.
So so once I got inside, in there, they make you sit on this little bed like this. and then you have over like 5 doctors all over you. Someone is doing injection in your back, someone is putting injection on your hands, then inserting the catheter. The doctors are trying to talk to me so that my pressure comes down, but it was going up. I was really scared. But then,
yeah, they gave her 2 shots
Yeah.
in the back
yeah,
to, to numb her from, I guess, could you feel anything up here?
no, it was like from here.
So everything from the lower torso all the way down was numb.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, big shout out to our doctor, Dr. Olivia.
Yeah.
She did a great job with the procedure. She took really good care of Hajara. Like she said, she prayed before the procedure and she prayed afterwards. And so they got started with Hajara. Like she said, she had a whole team of doctors poking and prodding, giving her all types of drugs for the procedure. And then they came and got me right after they pulled the baby out. Like I didn't see it when they actually pulled the baby out. They said, come at once. So I came and they would only let me go so far. They let me peek through the door and they just held him up like this. But I could only see the back of him. I couldn't see his face or anything. I just saw his back. And they let me look for like maybe 3-4 seconds and like, okay, you gotta go. And so then I went back out and then about maybe a minute later, I started hearing crying. Or maybe I heard crying before that, once they took him out. But he was crying loud for like 10-15 minutes. That boy was just crying and crying. And then finally they brought him out after they had cleaned him up and everything. They brought him out and they put him on a table in front of me, and the nurse was dressing him.
So they did that in front of you, not in the theater.
No, they brought him out in the theater and they put his clothes on and everything in front of me and wrapped him up in a blanket. And then once he was wrapped up and everything, that's when they gave him to me, and I got to hold him for the first time for like maybe 10 minutes. And then after that, they said we have
That's
to.
long.
Yeah, I think I held him for at least a good 10 minutes.
How come you didn't tell me about this? Operation getting him out was so short. Like once they cut me, because they kept on wiping my stomach, immediately they put me to numb this side. So I had the doctor doing my belly like this. I'm like, I can't hear you. And she's like, don't be worried. It's going to, by the time I cut you, you won't. So then I was like, well, I'm a drunkard, you did. I told the anesthesia, is it anesthesia?
Yeah, she wanted to make sure that the anesthesia was strong enough.
Yeah,
because she didn't want to feel anything. She wanted to make sure that they gave her enough.
Enough. I'm like, I'm a drunkard. Give me enough. I don't want to hear. But it was really short to get the baby out. Within 5 minutes, I had a cry, but I wasn't, because the curtain is just between you and the doctors. So I was not seeing the baby, but I had him cry and I also started crying. But
they had to take him straight to the nursery because they take all the big babies to the nursery. Once you're 4 kilos or above, you're considered a big baby. And they have to take you to the nursery to make sure that your sugar levels don't fluctuate.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that your sugar levels stay stable. So they don't want it going too high, they don't want it going too low. And they monitor his sugar levels and they gave him some glucose.
Kept feeding him on glucose. But the doctor was like, the baby is so big, he needs to be fed on glucose and all. So after they took the baby to the nursery, you also went out, and I stayed in. I felt like it was over 2 hours when they are putting me back.
Yeah, it was. It was a couple hours because they put you back together and then they put you in a recovery room
near the operation theater to monitor you. So I didn't see the baby
till the next day.
I was really, and for you at least you could walk and go check on him on the nursery.
Right.
Me, I was still in recovery. But then Saturday we did by 9 the baby was out, and then I spent the whole day in 3 hours in recovery, then the whole other day in my room. Then the next day on Sunday, the nurses come in your room and make you walk by 6 a.m. Then after they make you walk for the first few seconds, they take you to shower. One thing I was not read about C-section is you're not allowed to shower. For a few weeks.
You know,
For a few weeks,
you
yeah.
can only like take a wipe off with a wet rag and some soap, but
Yeah.
there's no getting in the water, no shower, no tub. You're just wiping down.
I've just had a shower recently, like a few days ago, and still you have to cover your wound with a. I first wrapped myself with a towel, then I put on a polythene bag,
Like a plastic bag.
yeah,
or something.
plastic bag, like to make sure that water is not going into the wound.
So we got to have him for like that first day, and then after that, we found out he had to go back into the nursery because he had jaundice. Am I saying that right?
Jaundice.
Jaundice. That's when the eyes are yellow and the face is yellow and the skin is yellow. So that tends to happen with big babies. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was just kind of disappointing. We only got to spend maybe a few hours with him that day, and then he had to go right back into the nursery, and they put him under these bright UV lights that supposed to, drive that jaundice out. So he had to stay 24 hours in
that machine.
In the machine. So, and during that 24 hours, Hajara was ready to leave. She wanted to be out of the hospital.
I just wanted to spend some time with the baby. Like I had a baby and I had not even spent
any time with him.
And it was coming to 3 days.
Ready to go home. She's ready to take the child home.
Yeah, I was ready to fight anyone to get my child.
We had to do like 2 separate discharges though. Hajara couldn't leave until her doctor discharged her, and Wesley couldn't leave until the pediatrician at the nursery discharged him. So I think Hajara got discharged first.
Yeah.
And so we took care of her, and then they told us eventually the next day that his levels had gone down enough to where he was going to be able to be discharged.
And we sunbathed him
sunbathed him from home. So everybody was able to leave the hospital on time.
But yeah, that's our hospital journey. But we thank God we both came home healthy and alive. Thanks to my doctor, Dr. Levine at Kampala Hospital. She's amazing.
Yeah, and thanks to all the nice doctors and nice nurses at Kampala Hospital. They did a really good job.
The nurses were really good.
So we highly recommend Kampala Hospital. If you're having a baby in Kampala.
For maternity.
For maternity, go to Kampala Hospital.
For children, don't go there.
For children, don't go there.
Yeah, for kids. Like if you want a pediatrician, don't go there. Everything is good.
And one other thing, the hospital, very clean. They clean that hospital, I felt like 24 hours a day.
But if you're looking for a pediatrician, nursery, when you have a baby there, make sure there is actually a good reason for them to take your child into nursery. So hold your baby here. Stay away from Kampala Hospital pediatricians.
Don't forget, please click on the subscribe button. Please click on that bell for the notification. Yeah. And if you like this video, please give us a like. If you didn't, give us a thumbs up. We don't care. Just give us some type of feedback.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Hopefully get to meet the baby soon.
Very soon.
He's sleeping now.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.